Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm back with a quick video. I'm back with a quick video about where blackness begins and where it ends. And I feel like this is something that we as a community aren't completely on the same page about, when it comes to this topic. I don't think we're on the same page. Sometimes I don't even think we're reading the same book, right? But I just wanted to talk, put this video together for a quick moment, just see what you guys think about where blackness begins and ends. I think we can all agree that blackness begins at 100%, right? I don't think anyone's saying, oh, you got to be 200% black, you know, um, or like the opposite, like, oh, blackness begins at 0. Um, but yeah, I think we can all agree that blackness begins at 100%. But we can also agree that, you know, African Americans, and this video is, geared towards African Americans because that's just, what I have the most experience with for obvious reasons. um, but we know that, most African Americans can't claim 100% blackness, right? And that's just something that, you know, comes from, a legacy of slavery and also the one drop rule and, race mixing, like miscegenation, you know, both, by rape and consensual, right? So long story short, most black people can't claim 100% blackness, right? So for African Americans, I don't think that that would be the cutoff point, you know. But I'm just trying to figure out what would be a nice cutoff point. Some people may say like 85% black. Some people may say 75% black. So, you have to be about 3/4 black to be black, right? And they'll probably allot you like 25% admixture of some sort, right? Some people have thrown out like 60%, like, a little more than half black, right? Some people kind of feel like 50%. And some people may feel like, oh, as long as you have a black grandparent, it's cool. So like 25%. Uh, um, you know, a lot of people have a lot of opinions, and I understand where they're coming from with those opinions. All right. I'm just here to give you my personal opinion and where I'm coming from. All right. Personally, I understand where people are coming from when it comes to, blackness and leaning more towards having, blackness, like more blackness, right? I get that. Me, my personal cutoff point would be probably 50%, right? I would say you would have to be and look, more importantly, look, because looks are ultimately what we're going by, because I don't think we're all carrying our ancestry DNA test or our 23andMe DNA test around with us saying, hey, look, yeah, I'm 85% black. No, I don't think so. So I think we would have to have, people would have to have the look of at least a 50% black, for me personally, right? As well, I think you should have the DNA to back that up, but more importantly, the look, right? You should look like you are at least 50% black to me, you know. Many people, particularly, I kind of see this more so with the monoracial black folks, the darker skinned monoracial black folks, right? Not like, I'm like, not like, basically lighter skinned folks can be monoracial, but sometimes, depending on how they look, they can kind of be clocked as biracial or multiracial. So that's where I'm coming from with that. But some monoracial black folks who are darker skinned, they kind of tend to have a higher bar, right? Like the bar, raise the bar a little higher because they can get, they can jump over that bar, easier, right? Like it's easier for them to jump over the bars, though. Of course, they're going to raise it, to a level, and I can't knock them for that. They're just, protecting themselves and their identities, right? And they're just trying to make sure that they are the ones who are kind of like seen as the standard and the face, and I completely understand that. And honestly, you can kind of accuse me of the same thing, of like lowering the bar a little bit, just a little bit, so I can kind of just jump over it. You know, not working with as much, jumping, power, as much ups, right? But I do think that this is a good sign for like Black people in general. Is us, taking control of our identity more, because black people have been somewhat just subjected to racist laws like the one drop rule, right? We About who's black and who's not black, and it was just taken out of our hands, and a whole segment of people were kind of forced on monoracial Black people, like the whole like mixed race, mulatto, light skinned folk were kind of forced on monoracial dark skinned Black people, you know and it comes from, of course, we know where it comes from. But for me, this is a good sign, because it seems like the one drop rule is starting to slowly fade away, right? It took a minute, it's taken some time still, right? Because technically the law, I believe, is off the books, but it's still in play, right? It's still a factor even today, right? Like, look at that person that Roseanne talked about and compared to like the Planet of the Apes, Valerie something. Um, like, is she? Some people may say like she doesn't really look Black, right? You know, you know. But people did treat her as if she was a Black woman being racially attacked, right? But for me personally, I think that it could be like 50%, but on the flip side, I'm thinking like 75% may work better, you know, maybe 60%, you know, maybe, but like based on my DNA test, I kind of would miss the cutoff line. So I'm like, can someone spare, 1% of Blackness, please? Can someone spare? Just 1%. Just 1%, sir. I ought not need more. Based on the DNA test that I've taken, I've actually taken two. I've taken two. The Ancestry DNA test and the 23andMe test. And the results were more or less the same, but there was a bit of a little, like a couple of percent difference here and there. You know. But then again, we're going off looks, though, right? Oh yeah. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.